going on, Phoenicians? I have to be quiet, actually. It's almost 10 o'clock. I hope you guys enjoyed yesterday's video from Enoshima. I know today's school vlog is on a different day. It's on Tuesday. Well, my hair is coming out. But I need a shave, too. Oh, God. But I had my first midterm today. I'm actually recording this on a Monday, so I'm not cheating. I'm just saying. And I had my second midterm. Why did I say first? It's my second midterm. I had my second midterm today. That thing kicked my ass. And that was exactly what I was worried about. Because that class is 50% midterm, 50% final. Jeez. Oh my god, I'm so worried. But I think everyone else struggled too. I think everyone was just groaning and moaning the whole time. So I hope they curve the midterm, because if not, we're screwed. But other than that, last week I did nothing. Well, I didn't do nothing. What did I do? Every Wednesday I attend this English conversation thing way out in the west side of town. It's not even in the special wards, is it? No, it's a Sedagai Award, so it is in special ward. But it's put on by the circle, if you will, that I belong to at my school. And I'm actually starting to get kind of tired of this thing, because the number of students, foreign students who attend is very low, and then the number of Japanese students who attend is starting to shrink, and the Japanese students who attend are typically not motivated. So it is kind of a boring thing, but I feel like that the club that I belong to, they just don't really care much, or they don't have the willpower to change it or do something else. And I talked to the president of the club. He's one of my buddies. He says he couldn't do anything about it. That's the thing that pisses me off, though. It's not about that. It's not about him not being able to do anything. It's not about the event itself. The fact that I feel like Japan clubs are very restricted in what they're doing, and you know, the whole thing not going against the senpai or not going against whatever is kind of very, very, very degrading on the clubs themselves. Like, it makes it backwards almost, you know? I also feel like the people who take part in this thing, they try my patience almost. Not the organizers. I love the organizers to death. I just feel like sometimes when I show up to these things and I just talk in my normal English, which is not like this. I mean, my normal English is actually quite slow and concise. I don't know why I'm not slow and concise when I talk to you guys, right? But when I try to talk, you know, very, very slow to the Japanese people and use words I think they should know if they're in university, especially if they're in my department, they always give me these looks. They're like, what? And then when I speak Japanese, apparently I have a strange accent. I don't even know. My friends that are Japanese tell me my accent's weird. So when I say something in Japanese, they're like, huh? Huh? It gets frustrating. I don't have this type of patience to do that kind of thing. You know, I've lived here for too long, and I feel like my patience is pretty much dried up with Japan when it comes to who I associate myself with and their abilities to speak English or not. Maybe I'm just ranting, I don't know, but I feel like every time I try to speak to somebody who doesn't really understand what I'm talking about, I feel like I'm just repeating myself over and over again. And also for the students who don't know who Arizona is, where Arizona is, or what Arizona is about, or even where my hometown is, you know, they just seem to know Hawaii, California, and New York. They always try to compare it to New York and California, and I say, well, both of those states don't really count as America, if you ask me, because I've been to 30 states, and I've seen so many different parts of America that people have never seen before, even Americans themselves. And I feel like that the notion that California and New York is a representation of America is very, very bad. It really is. One of my friends recently visited California, and she bitched the entire time, my Japanese friend. She said that it was just the most awful experience ever. Like, some of the people she's met there. And I know a lot of my Phoenicians here, a lot of you guys who are from California, let me just put it this way, if you're subscribed to a YouTube channel, you're not a normal Californian, right? You guys probably know this yourselves, you know, a lot of your neighbors are total douchebags. A lot of people there are just really bad Americans, bad examples of what Americans are, right? And that goes for every state. For California, that's especially the case, I think. Especially whenever I go to California, right? And everybody I know from California tells this to me themselves. And I'm talking about Los Angeles. Outside of LA, I feel like California is an okay place. I don't really like San Francisco that much because of all the hipsters and social justice warriors, but like San Diego's a good area. I have a lot of friends from San Luis Obispo and San Jose. They're awesome people, but I feel like Los Angeles has a very bad example, you know, and I feel like that's why people should stop focusing on LA so much and focus on other cities that are large, growing, very business oriented like Phoenix, yet at the same time very laid back like Tempe, a suburb of Phoenix, right? And that's what I keep telling my Japanese friends. I'm like, you guys go to America, you guys always go to LA. That's not America. That's not America at all. You gotta go to Phoenix, you gotta go to Charleston, you gotta go to New Orleans, you gotta see Chicago even. You gotta go to Seattle, you gotta go to Denver. And that, that's the thing, then they just, because there's so many Japanese speakers in California, maybe that's why they go there, I don't know. Because there's been so much tourism in California, every Japanese person I met at my university says that it's just like, safe for them. I'm like, no, California's not safe for you, trust me. So, but that's the thing, at my school it's either bipolar, right? California or New York, East or West. Which side do you belong to? Which side is Arizona? Which side is Ohio? What do you identify as? That's all they ask me. I'm like, I identify as an Arizonan. I'm a Phoenician, right? That's, even though I was born in Ohio, or born in Indiana, raised in Ohio, I lived in Phoenix. All my friends are in Phoenix, besides the friends who are Japanese. And I associate with the whole political, socioeconomic idea that is Arizona. And I'm holding a Pokemon. So every time people keep asking me about this at school, it gets really frustrating. I'm just like, I'm an American, okay? I lived all over America. That's what I keep saying. Because even though internal migration in Japan is fairly frequent, many people at my university are not originally from Tokyo themselves, the migration is typically from well-known towns. Because if you're in the total Inaka areas, you pretty much identify with the biggest city within that region. Whereas if you're from like Vicksburg, Mississippi, you're saying you're from Vicksburg, Mississippi, even though you lived in Phoenix or now you're living in Tokyo or something like that. I'm going to give you an example. I don't know anyone who's in this case, but that's what we do in America versus in Japan. Someone who might live in Shichinohe might identify with Aomori or Hachinohe, right? People who live in the suburbs of, like the really out-of-way areas in Niigata, like along the Yahiko line, the Echigo line, might identify with Niigata city itself instead of just wherever the hell they live, right? So that's one of the major cultural differences that kind of, I guess it doesn't really plague me, it just annoys me. It really tries my patience. Because having to explain everything about my hometown, or everything about Phoenix, about my own language, my own apparent accent, it gets really frustrating. And I feel like recently I've been hanging out with a lot of foreigners, a lot of returnees, a lot of people who are internationalized, who either don't care, which, I used to kind of take offense to, but now I kind of like that they don't really care about where I'm from as long as they know who I am, right? They either don't care or they just, they know enough about America to kind of have a general idea about Arizona, right? So that's what's been on my mind for this last week, just everyone bothering me about my location, everything like that. So that's this week's school rant. I don't even know. It's Wednesday. It's not Wednesday. God, this is a Tuesday. I'm so out of it right now studying for these midterms. It's a Monday as I'm recording this. I'm having this up on Tuesday. And Wednesday is actually when the game's being updated, I heard, for GTA, so you're going to see a lot of videos Wednesday. So look forward to that, and I'll see you in the next video. Take it easy, Phoenicians.